Afternoon from Marie at Messy M Creations. I hope this Monday finds you safe and well. Excuse me. As you can see, I've got the beautiful Christmas Gleaming designer series paper out, which I absolutely love and hasn't had much of an airing, so it's having a little air today. So I've done a little bit of pre-cutting. Hi Jeanette, hi Ali, hope you are both well. I think it's slightly drier today than it was over the weekend, isn't it? Let's just get rid of that ribbon. So I have my punches to punch out some shapes, and I'm going to do a play on a card I made with Karen Spreckley at the Let's Get Creative Day. So I was playing over the weekend, so I have a DL style in a portrait. This is a old paper. It's not a current paper, the snowmen. And then I also made one in a landscape. So this is using the Snowflake Splendor. But I quite liked the idea of having kind of a little string of baubles across a card. So I thought I'd play. So I've got no idea what's going to happen because I haven't really tried as yet. So all I've got Knight of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, and I've got some card bases cut with very vanilla backgrounds, and I've sort of cut a... My challenge was that actually it's more of a coppery colour rather than gold, so the twine is gold rather than copper. But anyway, we shall play and see what happens. So let's start with this one. So my thinking was, this is the... oh God, I've got all sorts of ribbon tied up. This is the Pretty Peacock ribbon. However, what I don't want is that kind of Hessian bit. So I just thought what I can do is just cut along the edge carefully, so that what I have is just the Pretty Peacock scalloped edge. So I kind of get 3 uses out of the ribbon there, because I can have 2 scalloped edges and Hessian, bit of Hessian for another card where Hessian's more suitable. So a good sharp pair of scissors just to cut along that. Hopefully I've done that pretty accurately. No, of course I haven't, not in that little bit. Oh, there you go, look, we can just pull those bits off. So you straighten that edge. So what I'm thinking is that can sort of go across the card, and then with the punches from a variety of papers, and these I figured they're kind of bauble-y style papers, aren't they? So I hadn't tried it, so we'll see. But I've kind of got the Pretty Peacock, oh actually I might do a copper. Let's do one plain copper one. Cutting right out of the corner of my copper paper, so I've got as much left as possible. Whoop. I'm just catching them. Just thinking we can just do a few of those. So yeah, as I say, inspired by Karen's beautiful card, which I made a whole series of. Hi Jane! At the weekend, of those DL cards. So actually I might make the Pretty Peacock one more prominent. And I think potentially we could just add, oh, we could put the ribbon over the top. Put the ribbon over the top, or do we put the ribbon on the baubles on the top? Oh, now there's a confusion. They almost look like they're more hanging if they're underneath. Well, we can try it a few different ways, can't we? But what I'm thinking as well is they might be quite nice up on dimensionals to give ourselves a bit of dimension to our card. I'm going to pop the dimensionals on and just remember that I haven't stuck the DSP bits of paper together, so I'm going to suggest that we ought to do that before we put dimensionals on, because I can assure you it's very difficult to take things up once dimensionals are on. So as I say, I cut the card bases. Oh, see, now there was a, whew, that was lucky I checked that one. Need the card to open the right way, don't we? That would just about, only that would only happen on a Monday, wouldn't it? It's doing a card the wrong way round. Like I say, I've done it before, so you just cut the front off and stick it to another card base. It's not a lost card, however, it's just frustrating. So the cream is going to go on, so that very vanilla card base is going to go on. Then this bit of ribbon is going to go around the designer series paper, and I'm only going to tape the ends to allow me to pop those baubles underneath. So it's just loosely wrapping it, don't want it too tight, and I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus just to make sure that ribbon goes nowhere. Excuse me. So then it's just a quick bit of construction and adding a little sentiment. You can see, so that's going to be my centre one. I still don't know whether to do it on the top or underneath. You can see how all the papers just coordinate beautifully, so it makes it really easy. Now I'm going to go underneath, I think. So I'm just going to keep that copper one in the centre there, so that I know that these are going either side equally. So what I don't want to do is kind of knock it so that it's not central. I'm going to have a little bit of an overlap. And as I say, it's just real quick and easy. Punch out the card, and then I think all it needs is on another bit of very vanilla card. There is just a very simple Merry Christmas in the pack with the block background, which I rather like. Have I got a block handy? There we go. So I'm going to focus that in Pretty Peacock. I haven't used Pretty Peacock for ages either. funny, isn't it, how they go in cycles. I absolutely went crazy for Pretty Peacock at one point. So I'm just stamping that on a little tag. And then that just needs, you could do it with your trimmer if you wanted, or if you're fairly good at going straight across, which, double check my card, make sure it's the right way round. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So how's everybody's lockdown going? Are we just about halfway through yet? Feels like we ought to be. I'm just very quickly going to pop a little bit of tape on the back of that. And then we could put that centrally, or we could put it to one side. Oh, I'm going to maybe put that centrally. So that's sort of the idea that I'm going to follow, because I quite like that idea. So let's try with this one on the Mossy Meadow. Again, card base the right way around. I'm going to pop the Very Vanilla on first. And I guess you could wrap the Very Vanilla around the ribbon around both the Very Vanilla layer and the DSP, but I felt it probably looked slightly better if it was just going to be around. And again, there's quite a lot of that copper on there. I could probably cut a little bit off that. So Stampin' Seal Plus is just a little bit stronger, so I do want to make sure that that ribbon's really tight on. And don't wrap it too tightly around the DSP, because the DSP is not quite the same thickness. Popping that on. What you could do with that odd little bit, you could have a little knot in the middle. And essentially you can go as, look like we've got a little knot in the middle of our, I quite like those longer. Oh, I could do a combination of long and short, couldn't I? What colours shall we use? Let's go. I'm just trying to see if I've got anything that sort of reflects. Oh, I had a sudden thought then I put the baubles on the wrong way up, but I haven't. Whew. That would have been a little bit crazy, wouldn't it? Because there's quite a lot of that bright bronze. I might try this. Well, again, the joy of the DSP is once you've cut it, you can do it either way around. So I think that, to me, gets lost a little bit. I think we maybe need the darker. Or could go more with, hold on, one of these bits of paper's got a very nice simple Mossy Meadow. Oh, in fact it's that one. Let's find a small bit. I've got all sorts of little scraps and things built up, so let's give it a whirl in a few different colour baubles and see what we think. So we could just go with one simple bauble. What's the consensus of opinion? Do we keep it simple or do we go a little crazy? Oh, was that in response to the first card? I did wonder whether I don't think I've got the patience. You absolutely could do that. Kind of as I did. I've only just seen you comment, Jeanette. So I had the thought before your comment. I read your comment, which is... Is that a good thing or slightly worrying, Jeanette, that that you've got a telepathic connection? But we could have them all hanging from that little knot. As Jeanette suggested, we could literally just have a little knot on each one. But you'll have to have a lot of patience to do that. But I'm quite liking that little combo. Of not having them all in a row. So almost like they're all swinging from one point. Swinging in the wind. Which a blooming would have done after this weekend, wouldn't they? They're just showing a little bit. And as Jeanette rightly says, just adding that little knot. Quite like it the length it is. Might just no. Let's not cut it any further. And again, we just can use that exact same sentiment stamped in our mossy meadow. Actually, Jeanette, you know what might be quite... What might work quite well is... Well, yes, you know what they say though, Jeanette. Great minds think alike, or fools seldom differ. So, should we go? We're in the great minds think alike camp, aren't we? That was slightly freaky though. That you kind of. I've managed to put the card that I'd made up in front of the comments, so I hadn't seen the comments and played around with that knot before I saw that. So. And again, see if we've got that, we could have the sentiment just off to one side. Have it coordinated in that corner. But you have set my brain off because oh, I've got it all in there. If I hadn't tied a big knot in that, could be a while trying to... Right, okay, I've put a knot in that one, so I'm going to cut another little bit because what I thought was... Oh, throwing away my aqua painters now. Is in this gold thread, although it is gold and this is bronze, legitimately we're hanging Christmas decorations, so we could literally You know, because I know for one on my tree, regardless of, so we could literally have a little knot like that to fray off. Because this thread kind of untangles, like that one's just completely done. So that works quite well, doesn't it? So that's the secret, methinks. Although I think a little glue dot is going to be the answer to that issue. Gosh, I'm thinking on my feet. I'm just going to take a little glue dot, kind of fold it in half. Oh, get it stuck to my pick tool. So as long as I've got that thread caught up in the glue dot, it doesn't particularly want to stay knotted very well. But that's the way to do it, I think. But I rather like simplicity of that one, and again, just to hold that, I think a glue dot would be sensible in case the postal system's a bit rough on the card. We obviously have to remember that often what does happen is any knots and layers do tend to take us into a large stamp, so it's probably one for a hand delivery unless you want to unless like I had to buy 100 stamps, so I went second class. It still was like a bit of a shock to the old system, buying 100 stamps. I'm not wasting this thread. I'm getting that knot undone, I can tell you. Not right now, though. You don't need to see me battling to get a knot undone, do you, really? But then this is another lovely Mossy Meadow ribbon, which I definitely think the gold would need on that one. But I kind of thought this is like a wallpaper. Don't know why I cut that bit so long either. It's feeling a bit generous, obviously. Yeah, I barely go from using barely any ribbon to ribbon galore. We'll blame Karen for that. For designing that Christmas card. Yeah, and there must be, oh, it's behind me. I'll show this one rather than the... There must be other people. It was my grandparents that used to hang their Christmas cards like that. That was like the tradition in my grandparents' house. Oh, you're not getting any sound? Oh dear. Has everybody got that problem? Can everybody else hear me, or have I gone for everybody? I think my husband would say that's a benefit. If you thought there was a volume control for me. Thanks, Kathy. So you see, I did a collection of... Oh, excellent. So Jane, it's perhaps you. Everybody Jane Kimberley, that is. This I think might be a little bit too thick a ribbon to dangle a bauble off. Yes, I think so. Let's go back. We'll cut some bits off from a bit of gold ribbon. That's this gold thread is absolutely beautiful, but not if you tie it in a knot. Let's see what we can do is quickly right over left and left over right. I actually did that one the other way around, but start that one again, shall I? I've confused myself now. Oh, it doesn't take much on a Monday, does it? Right, fingers and thumbs now. We're going that way with a knot. Hoping this will stay done up this time. Nice tight little knot. So I'm not pulling the knot completely tight to narrow the ribbon too much. But I think with a nice couple of baubles on there, so I think I might pull out we could go either really, there's a problem with the beautiful paper, that's not really, too many beautiful papers to choose from. Like some stars, little starry baubles. And actually, should we try a smaller one as well, and then I shall I'm going to try out, oh, that one's gone for, right, let's try that one again, but don't, see, that's another do as I say, don't do as I do. I cut a bauble and it's gone flying. So what I'm thinking is 2 long ones and a short one. So I rather like this. Oh, that's a short one. Right, if we catch all the ones that we cut, then we can have 3 little gold ribbons and then a little Night of Navy tag for the greeting. Lost my stamp. But you could use any sentiment that you've got. So if you didn't want the stamp set, you could just use the punches. So the stamp set, obviously you can have the ability to stamp the baubles, and you've got a little sprig of holly as well. But if you didn't want the whole stamp set, you can still create cards with the punches. And the punches obviously do cut out the baubles from the stamp set as well. And the Gleaming designer series paper is just gorgeous. So I'm just gonna, and that's kind of, I could have that in a top corner. So I'm going to pop those. I quite like them on the little dimensionals. Lost my dimensionals now as well. God, one of these days I really will be super organised when I come on, and you won't know what's happened, will you? You'll be thinking the aliens have taken me away, left you with an organised, tidy crafting Marie rather than a messy crafting Marie. No, already done that bit. See? Just need the one. Oh dear. Are you still with us, Jane, or Kimberly? Have you? Sorry, I'm saying Jane and then saying Kimberly because I've got two Janes on. So I don't know whether you left us and came back, or might catch up later. So there you go. So then we just need to add our little things and put that sentiment in the top left hand corner. And there you go, that just needs obviously trimming. I would suggest with this, because it does uncurl, to use a longer length to tie the knot, and otherwise you will end up trying to tie a gazillion little strands, which I can tell you is not the easiest thing on the planet. So I'm just going to pull that around so that it's, see, that's Jeanette's input there. Adding me a little just a little glue dot on the end of your pick. This is a wider ribbon, so I've got the ability to put a glue dot down in full without needing to bend it. So dependent upon the size of the ribbon that you use will depend on the flexibility that you have. I'm going to trim those. I'll put one last one on out of my little knotty bit of it's fine and it knotties. Knotties? I think I need my dinner. Salmon stir fry tonight. For dinner. It's a healthy start on a Monday before it all goes horribly wrong throughout the rest of the week. So then all I need to do is tidy up all my stray little ends. So I'm still going to leave some there, but I'm just going to trim the longest bits off. Easier said than done. Now they're all in little threads, but so there we go. So I've just pulled it in slightly tight so that it hasn't put a little glue dot on each of them, so it kind of gives the impression that they're tied around. So thank you very much for joining me. There's the 3 that we've done today. I will add some extra ribbon to that one. So we've got a single point, or we have the peacock, and this is the mossy meadow. So you can kind of play to your heart's content. Look, I left all those bits. So, as I say, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for a one sheet wonder. And so, yeah, Wednesday at 6. Enjoy your week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.